they did a video recently where they had 2 bullets hit each other in midair.
Wait a minute.
I know, not that. You developed the software for it?
He wrote the
code?
software.
I wrote the software, yeah.
What? Okay, so that's
stupid.
Yeah, I didn't know you wrote the code for that
I
shit.
machined every piece that held the guns down.
Yeah,
I wrote
the electromagnetic
software. We used
solenoids,
his cameras to do
the microsecond calculation.
So he had this
Dude, when
all in
Tizzin
house.
comes together.
So he did this.
That should be the new unsub subtitle.
I can-
Unsubscribe, where Tism comes together.
Where Tism comes together.
Women are flying away.
Electric discharge machining. I remember that.
Yep.
Discharge
EDM, not the shit that gets you laid, EDM, but like the other thing.
The good one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The shit that's useful.
Yeah, we need Molly for
We
that.
did this whole thing. It was pretty cool.
Took us a year and a half to figure out how to do it, and then we just did it.
So, okay, and no one know, if you don't know this, that hasn't been done up to that point. Correct. Other than one person did it, but it took fucking years.
I can talk
years,
about that in
decades.
detail if you'd like.
I would love it.
Okay, so
Let's hear it.
well, this goes back to like what World War II, maybe. So there's like photographs, and you can even find some. I don't know which war it was, but there's
Didn't happen.
so there's
World War II. I know what you're
was it-
talking about, the
so
battle,
that you-
and the Civil War, too.
Yeah, you can go to a museum and see these bullets that have fused. People say they were midair, but I think all of them have been shown that it was one bullet striking a stationary bullet.
Correct.
Because there's just enough energy in that collision to fuse 2 bullets. Because we've done it. We have fused bullets from just shooting one at a stationary.
Because it was like
bullet.
one that was in a bandolier that got struck
Correct.
by a bullet in the
Yeah,
air.
we've all seen those viral pictures
Exactly.
online of that.
Yeah. So when was this? When did we first? I have no idea when this would be, but we
Like
were
Gallipoli a while ago.
correct. So no, I'm trying to remember when I first pitched this to Adam. We were hanging out in his shop. Some of his buddies were there, and I remember looking at 2 bullets sitting on his desk, and I was just like, "What if we could get 2 bullets to hit midair, capture it in high speed?" And maybe fuse them. Like, how cool would that be, right? And I think I was like, so I was just doing, like, everyone there was like, no, that's impossible. And I was like, well, so I was scratching out some math, and I'm like, it might be possible. We just need to be able to individually address 2 different handguns within, sub-millisecond timing. And then that was kind of just the thought. And then we kind of left that in the background. And then months later, I think Adam and I were like, here's some really rudimentary electromagnetic hardware. He knows how to
rudimentary.
electromagnets. They are on or off. They're very, very
I'm
rudimentary.
just going to go on, and Unsub has never just scribbled down math, period.
So
For anything we've done. We're like,
I'm picturing like fucking the Zach Galifianakis, like the fucking equations going by your
it
head.
wasn't that complicated.
Well, I started with like servo motors. I tried like 4 or 5 different electronically configurable machines because then I can control them through a PCB, so that I can write software for it. I can do that. But then like they were like too slow, or that they have different turn rates depending on gear ratios, and we were going back and forth. I'm sending him slow-mo from like a phone, so it's like 1,000 frames per second, like a Samsung, which is like what you guys do.
Okay,
Garbage.
they have Chronos now.
ball sack high speed getting a little fucking big for the britches right now.
Eli, could you do me a favor? You see that little lever? Can you turn it down?
Hey, we just stroked you guys off for 20 minutes.
Pepperbox this, pepperbox that.
I was almost there, and you just fucking stopped. Now it's all about you. I get it.
We went through a bunch of stuff like turnbuckle strings, snatch blocks. I mean, it's been this whole thing. We're coming to this conclusion that there's just too much of a tolerance. We cannot get close enough because
I'll
between
drink to that.
and then through a firearm and ammunition, you're going to lose like another 20% because like you're never going to know which powder it is. You never know how much it was loaded, what the machine was configured to, what the weight of the bullet is, how much powder is in the barrel to actually like slow it down. Like when you are trying to do this, fucking everything comes into configuration.
I didn't even think about it. Like the deviation between like the same kind of ammo round to round on powder. Like holy fuck.
And then you think about that,
And
and
if
then
they're 20% off on both sides, now you're looking at 40% difference.
yeah.
and you have this little spot to capture.
So
where
he
they
did all
have
the
to
math on the
land,
cross-sectional
which is fucking
half of it.
insane.
How many shots did it take?
7.
That's insane.
7 before we got a nose-to-nose, but that was with a year and a half of preparation.
Right, yeah.
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 So we had a short that we put up, and this was after probably at least 6 to 8 months of planning, where we got the intersection pass was really shallow, like shooting both guns here, shooting this way. We got them to intersect within maybe 10, 20 shots. But that was like, how much deviation is on that day? Less?
We hit them the first time.
Did we?
And then we tried 12 more and couldn't get it to happen again.
Oh.
Because we were originally just going to shoot from the table to a piece of like stock board. And then we were going to film when each one of them went through the stock board.
Okay, so
we were like,
our methodology was from electromagnets to, or PCB boards to electromagnets to hammer drop.
Yep.
We were going to get all of that synchronized as perfectly as possible because the dwell time, the powder burn, the actual speed of the bullets, all of that is out of our control, right? Because we wanted, if you were to buy this ammunition, put it in a stock gun and shoot it.
Did you reload your own?
No,
for this.
we wanted this as like
Precise.
anybody could do this if you had a high-speed camera.
Because everyone. That's fine.
Yeah, because I would have figured that you would have
Nope,
reloaded your
didn't
own
touch
ammo,
it.
so it's like 100%.
No, this was like what fucking Blazer brand, like 45
fuck.
ammunition.
That's what
like
we
it
wanted.
was off the shelf.
it was 2 actual uninterrupted pistols with
45
ammunition.
So you put this on fucking hard mode for no reason.
Sick, yep. Two.
Dark Souls.
Because we wanted it to be real. Because so like I love Smarter Everyday's video of it because he did the same thing. I think he used like 44 long cold or some other similar
40, 45 long colt.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 45.
Okay,
Like
so
cowboy load.
Yes, but they were like adjusting their load amount, and they basically it was just a metal cylinder. Stop.
God, Brandon started laughing. I was like, hey. He said load.
Adjusting your load amount. Like,
Basically, instead of an actual firearm, it was a metal tube with an electrical primer, and then they just sent 12 volts or whatever it was to the electrical primer, so they always went off at the same time. Right. We wanted to have 2 handguns involved, so if Adam and I stood 8 feet apart and shot at each other, this is what that would look like.
it's really easy to ignite 2 powder sources at the same time
With electricity.
With electricity. But to do it where you're just a trigger pull, where like, dude, even if there's a break difference on it, like that's very hard.
And it's,
The
again,
rounding on the internal components,
Yes.
when it clicks off.
people, you do not understand how difficult that is because I remember doing research.
You should see the comments on the shorts.
I can do that every time because they're not thinking everything goes into account on this. It is where the camera is lined up. You have an object moving at 900 to 1200 feet per second. The trigger pull, the burn rate of the explosion.
Oh, what was it, 9 mil?
It's 45.
45. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
It was like
It's
850,
roughly-
900 feet per second.
That's next.
That's still fucking...
Dude, all those little things. And then on top of that, lined
think about it this
perfectly
way.
up to fucking
Think about it this
each
way:
other.
900 feet per second. If you're 1% off, that shot is 9 feet out of frame.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So if it's half a
repeat that,
percent,
no, repeat that again. Repeat that again.
900 feet per second. If any part of this is 1% off, it's 9 feet out of frame. And we were framing like
1%.
this. To get 2 bullets to collide right here, so we can get a close up, 150,000 frames per second.
So that's like 0.1 second.
Infinitely less than that.
Good. Oh my god. So you're looking at 0.005 seconds, and it's like almost 9 feet. Yep. If that is how fucking precise this has to be, and that's what I don't think people really rationalize that number. 0.005, and you're looking at a 9 foot difference of the collision. You are recording with one camera, capturing this little fucking frame. If anything is wrong, you have no.
Would you say that was the frame?
Slightly larger, but yeah, very
A
close
little larger
to
than that.
Yep.
That's what we have.
That, but 16 by 9 widescreen. So yeah.
No error. You can't have a. This isn't guesstimating shooting a bunch of rounds and hopefully one does it. It is.
We got it in 7.
That's fucking insane.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, go on.
And then we got it like 5 times in a row after that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was extremely lucky, but a lot of planning. So it was like a nice blend of the two.